Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Sunday, the 4th of August 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second or more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's see what we've got in store for us today. Not that, that is a blank screen. Here we go. Tribulations of doing a live show. Right, so we've got this article by BSV Blockchain Association saying why blockchain adoption is a human problem, not a technological one. And then we just got a few articles here from Cointelegraph that look kind of juicy. Morgan Stanley wealth managers to embrace BlackRock. Fidelity, a Bitcoin ETF's report. MicroStrategy Stock set to gain 30% if BTC hits 150k in 2025, says analyst. Prosecute demands jail for Crypto.com user who received 8.6 million by mistake. By mistake. The USA can and should dedicate more energy to Bitcoin mining. Yeah, we'll read on that one. And then we got a little bit of Bitcoin history, and then we'll go through the figures. Right, there we go. Let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. So let's have a look at this one. So why blockchain adoption is a human problem, not a technical one. While blockchain has often been mischaracterized as a solution for looking for a problem, the advent of Terranode and its incredible scaling capabilities highlight that it's not the case, says Siggy Okarson, Terranode director at BSV Blockchain. Speaking to CoinGeek on the sidelines of the London Blockchain Conference, Okarson noted that this was not a new problem, but one that was being solved very expensively by thousands of businesses around the world. We just have to convince businesses that it's more efficient, faster and cheaper to do it on the blockchain. Well, actually it will be because of data efficiencies and data securities. He added that it's important to change the way people think about blockchain. Again, it's just the political narrative being pushed on by the cabal, which people don't get it. Oh, it's just a speculative piece of crap. You're not going to put all of your photographs on chain if they cost $5 a piece. The difficulty here is the human element, not the technical one, because you have to convince all people in the businesses that it's going to make the business more profitable, more secure and more compliant, and that's where real benefits of blockchain come in. And again, I mean, what they need to do is do a cost comparison to Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Cloud. You know, because their Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Cloud are monthly fees, whereas this is a one-off micropayment, and the data is stored indefinitely. The future is Terranode. Terranode solves vertical scaling challenges on the BSV blockchain by serving high-volume transaction nodes for enterprise and government use. Whether contracting with nodes or running their own, these clients drive the Terranode initiative. In January, the BSV Blockchain Research and Development Team announced groundbreaking features for Terranode that will significantly boost network efficiency and speed, pushing BSV's capabilities to 1 million transactions per second in the not-too-distant future. Such technological leaps will enable mass transactions on blockchain-based infrastructure, supporting data processing on an unprecedented scale at a fraction of traditional costs, while laying the foundations for a more secure financial ecosystem. Terranode was recently extended and sustained testing on a proof-of-concept implementation began at the end of February, with full node released later in 2024. This is a ground-up rewrite of the BSV blockchain architecture designed to scale horizontally and provide new microservices for developers, applications, and users. During this period, 2 tests were completed, one with 3 nodes and a second test with 6 nodes, proving that the Terranode network was also scales for more participants on the network. As part of this process, protocol custodian BSV Blockchain revealed a more service-oriented approach to the network's work. The new features include modularized functions such as transaction on blockchain validation, plus block assembly into services that run only when required. The Terranode upgrade is critical for the BSV blockchain's unbounded scaling potential and will deliver faster, more secure and cheaper transactions for all. What a great article that was. Love hearing stuff like that. Right, let's get into a little bit of fun here. Morgan Stanley wealth managers to embrace BlackRock Fidelity Bitcoin ETFs. Really, just pile. It's just another psyop. So winning over the $3.7 trillion financial advisory firm is a historic milestone for crypto, really. Morgan Stanley, the largest wealth manager in the United States, will soon allow its 15,000 financial advisors to start recommending Gregcoin. Gregcoin exchange traded funds. Oh dear, to clients according to CNBC report. Starting August 7th, Morgan Stanley Wealth Managers can begin advising eligible clients to buy shares of two GregCoin ETFs, BlackRock's iShares and GregCoin Trust, and Fidelity's Wise Origin GregCoin Fund, according to CNBC. Other spot crypto ETFs include the recently launched Ether. Oh my goodness me. Winning over Morgan Stanley is a historical milestone for crypto. Again, it's more of a psyop. They're just getting desperate, you know. Until now, the largest financial advisory firm, because they're going to be in shit when they realise it's a Ponzi scheme they've got them in. I mean, this is outrageous. Known as Winehouse, or Wirehouse, have been hesitant to embrace spot crypto ETFs. Well, absolutely. Along with Morgan Stanley. I mean, I think they're trying to bring the financial system down. Bring the clients down, bring everything down. When this goes to zero, it's going to be devastating. And they won't be able to get the funds out of the ETFs either, you know, because the ETFs will be worth nothing when all the shitcoin cryptos collapse, yeah, which they will do because they're all competitive to one another. They're meant to be mediums of exchange, and the most valuable medium of exchange is the most useful medium of exchange, and the most useful medium of exchange is the one that scales the most and secures the data, and only the genuine Bitcoin can do that. This is nuts. They include big names such as Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo. Despite soaring valuations, crypto has struggled to reach beyond its base of the roughly $60 billion pouring into spot crypto ETFs in 2024. Most has come from crypto native retail investors and hedge funds. See, look, they're trusting the names like BlackRock. You know, oh, they would have done their research. Yeah, we'll just trust them. Oh dear, oh dear. Wirehouse manage trillions of dollars and set the bar high for embracing new financial products. What a load of crap. Yeah, unregulated ones. For crypto ETFs, winning this market segment is a game changer. Carl De Cruz, Director of Digital Assets, product for Asset Van Elk, an asset manager that sponsors crypto ETFs, told Cointelegraph. Among Wirehouse, Morgan Stanley is the largest. Its advisory network manages some $3.75 trillion, including $1 trillion in self-directed client accounts across all of its banking units. Morgan Stanley manages $6.2 trillion, according to financialplanning.com. Oh my God. BlackRock's IBIT and Fidelity's FBTC are emerging as blue chips among this is GregCoin, among GregCoin ETFs. Oh my God. They're seeing adoption not only among Wirehouse like Morgan Stanley, but also among independent financial advisors. Roxanne Islam, head of sector industry research at Vetify, a fund researcher, told Cointelegraph. Continued uptake by leading advisory firms who haven't got a clue what they're talking about could spur a surge of inflows from advisors into spot GregCoin ETFs. Matthew Sigel Van X, head of digital research assets, told Cointelegraph. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, the Ponzi scheme is just absolutely massive. What's this? Tech stocks plummet as Intel nosedives. Nvidia faces antitrust probe. Okay, I'm just going to read this because I'm interested. It's layoff season again at big tech, and the semiconductor industry fails to meet investor expectations. The big tech artificial intelligence bonanza is showing signs of fatigue as nearly every technology firm in the global top 20 saw its market capitalization shrink between July and August. Leading the retreat is Intel, whose stocks plummeted after a disappointing quarter 2 earnings announcement on August 1st. The company failed to meet its quarterly targets and wound up down 1% for the revenue year on year. And again, I would say that this is all down to the market. People know there is a massive recession coming. As somebody said the other day, that Warren Buffett has historically never had this much cash on hand. He's been selling shares in all sorts of companies. Literally, so they're waiting for the economic crash, the largest economic crash of all times. Banks are going to go under, financial institutions are going to go under, and these guys are just going to clean up. You know, it's happening already. Jeepers. MicroStrategy stock set. I'm not going to read all this because it's just hilarious. MicroStrategy stock set to gain 30% if BTC hits 150k in 2025. I mean, it's all dependent. We know it's all dependent on Tether. It's all dependent on Tether. You know, I have to say, I was just thinking when BTC was like 20 grand. You know, what Mike Novogratz was going, oh yeah, BTC could hit 40,000, 50,000. I was just like, yeah, it's never going to do that because people aren't stupid enough. They're going to have to print billions of dollars of Tether. You know, but they did. They printed billions of dollars of Tether, and none of these shitcoiners gave a monkeys because they're, you know, as far as they're concerned, numbers going up. They're not going to stop that. And they're just like, oh yeah, the market's chosen. There's no market there. It's just pumped by Tether. It's outrageous. So I mean, traders are going to be cashing out like hell if it goes up to 150k, and they're going to have to again pump billions into the market, and it does nothing. It's a massive Ponzi scheme. We all know it. Shares of MicroStrategy are set for 30% gains if Gregcoin climbs to $150,000 by the end of 2025, according to August 2nd analyst report shared with Cointelegraph. The stock could reach $2,500 per share if MicroStrategy sustains the BTC buying spree. Well, that's Gregcoin buying spree. Started after founder Michael Saylor in 2022. And again, he got into 2022. That was after all the SegWit BS that he has no idea about. I mean, whether he knows about contracts or not. When that signature is removed, that transaction in Gregcoin literally has no contractual credibility and therefore no economic value attached to it. It's absolutely worthless. He's going to be livid. And again, this is why Samson Mao was talking about taking Saylor down if he chooses, air quotes, the wrong side. Check this one out. Prosecute demands jail for Crypto.com user who received $6.8 million by mistake. Australian prosecutors argues that imprisonment should remain a strong possibility for the Crypto.com user who received $6 million because of an internal error. Well, how's it their fault? That's hilarious. Australian prosecutors, and again, it's outside the central banking system. They send him $6.8 million. Lucky him. Australian prosecutors are reportedly calling for a prison sentence for the Crypto.com user who accidentally received nearly $7 million and spent most of it before the exchange discovered the internal error made 3 years ago. In May 2021, Crypto.com sent 10.47 million Australian dollars, $6.86 million to an Australian couple. What's this? The Vaman Ogari, Manivel, and Jatinder Singh, instead of $100 US AUS, a refund after an employee allegedly typed an account number into the payments section of an Excel spreadsheet. By the time the exchange found the error in December 2021, internal audit just 7 months later, Singh had already bought multiple homes and gifted a friend $1 million Australian dollars. He claimed he thought he had won an online raffle. That's hilarious. Oh dear. Australian prosecutor argues jail sentences is necessary. What? In the latest court hearing on August 2nd, roughly 3 years after the incident, Australian prosecutor Campbell Thompson argued that given the amount of money involved, it was out of range to be considered a crime of opportunity. He stated that he stated that a jail sentence was necessary for Singh, according to an August 2nd report. It may not be that you send him to jail for very long at all, after taking into account his his pre-sentence detention, he said. Meanwhile, Singh's lawyer, Martin Nozlowski, argued that Singh didn't fully grasp the seriousness of the unusual situation. Well, again, it's crypto. Number go up. Suddenly, this is the kind of shit that happens. I've suddenly got 6 million. All right, well, it's in crypto. It's not actually being sent to him by the bank. He's just like, woohoo. It's not his fault, is it really? It must be taken. I mean, I bet he couldn't even. He wouldn't have even know where it came from. Literally, it just gets sent from an address. How's he meant to know who sent it to him? Because it just simply comes from a wallet address to another wallet address. He wouldn't have been able to even contact whoever it was that sent it to him. How's he meant to know? That's on them. It must be taken into account the funds here came from a multinational that didn't even know the funds were gone until an audit sometime later, Shalowski said. Nobody knows how they could respond if faced by the same situation, he added. Yeah. Concerns about Singh being a flight risk. In March 2023, prosecutors argued that Singh was financially driven to flee the country since only $4.9 million had been recovered, with part of it already sent abroad. Singh is scheduled to be sentenced in September. In September 2023, his partner, Manivel, was given a roughly 7 months prison sentence. I'd do a 7 months prison sentence for, like $6 million. It's like being in prison, being paid $1 million a month. So, all right then. I'll take that. And placed on an 18 months community correction order after pleading guilty to reckless handling the proceeds of crime. It's not proceeds of crime. I mean, if it was a genuine mistake, that's not a crime. On July 15th, the Australian Transaction Reports Analysis Centre Money Laundering and National Risk Assessment reported increased criminal use of crypto and related services as its latest report on money laundering. And besides, they're engaging in securities fraud. It's them that did it. It's illegitimate funds. The only way you can commoditize data is with BSV. So all of these shitcoins, BTC, every single crypto on the market is securities fraud, and the regulator's done nothing. It wouldn't even exist if the regulator had actually done their job. But they're not. But the fact is, they've allowed this securities fraud to develop. So that's what I would argue anyway. The USA can and should dedicate more energy to Bitcoin mining. Donald Trump is right. The United States could easily ramp up the amount of energy it spends on Bitcoin mining. Depending on who you listen to, crypto is a blessing or a curse. Many Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick have convinced themselves in the near future it will be marked by a massive growth in energy and demand to support Greg Coin. That's hilarious. Mining that may ultimately break the electrical grid. On the other hand, former President Donald Trump has gone for the skeptic to call on the United States to become a crypto capital of the planet. Well, I mean, he is right, but it's not crypto, it's Bitcoin that you want. And all this lot are mining Greg Coin. They're going to be livid when they find out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's this? There's a big winter storm crossing the country right now. The storm will put a strain on power grids. And again, we know how they're geoengineering the weather and all this kind of stuff. Gee, I mean, we've seen what they've done to Maui and Jasper in Canada, Let's have a look at the 365 days of Bitcoin history. So we're now August 4th. August 4th, so we've got this email here from Satoshi Nakamoto about a flood attack on micropayments. So let's read this. It's actually quite interesting, this one. So he said, Bitcoin isn't currently practical for very small micropayments, not for things like pay per search, so obviously he's got that in mind, or per page view without an aggregating mechanism. Not things needed to pay less than 1 cent. The dust spam limit is a first trier internationally trying to prevent overly small micropayments like that. Bitcoin is practical for smaller transactions than are practical with existing payment methods. Small enough to include what you might call the top of the micropayment range, but it doesn't claim to be practical for arbitrary small micropayments. I mean, that's kind of like not yet anyway. And he said, forgot to... Oh, that was the next day, so we might read that tomorrow. But there we go. So he's got all of these things in mind. Oh, yeah. Right, that's 17 minutes. Just have a quick look at the figures because I've got to go later on. Look at the price, $42. Greg Coin at 60,000, so that's taking a nosedive as well. Hash rate 0.11, network nodes 0.2, transactions 20.8, block size 90%. Look at this. What's the biggest one we got there? 97. No 100 megabyte blocks there. 41,657 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Greg Coin. However, it's 55% more profitable to mine on Greg Coin than Bitcoin. But again, that shows you the competition for Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the politics here in the hash rate. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours. Greg Coin hash rate, other miners 1.39. Managing that carefully. B Crash, other miners 22.92. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? And again, we can't really look at CoinDance for the hash rate on Bitcoin. But this is Bitcoin versus Greg Coin. Just trending down a bit over these last sort of 3 or 4 days. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD. Ooh, yeah, taking a bit of a nosedive there. Sort of wiped out any profits over the last 10 days. But never mind. And there we go. That's a 20-minute show. So as ever, if you enjoy these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to Satoshi, either Simply.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, RockWallet.me or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.